Chardonnay is the most planted white grape variety in the United States, and it's the second most planted white grape variety in the world. I'll give you major props if you know what the #1 white variety worldwide is. Chardonnay is a French grape. Its origins lie in Burgundy, where some of the best examples come from. Wines there can fetch hundreds up to thousands of dollars per bottle. In the US, the high quality examples from California can get pretty pricey too, anywhere from 50 to hundreds of dollars. However, that's not the price point most people are enjoying this grape at. In the 90s and the 2000s, there became a trend about ABC, anything but Chardonnay. I'm going to start something called AAC, all about Chardonnay. Chardonnay produces, to me, some of the greatest wines in the world. I remember when I used to be real active on the Venice.com forum, there was a question going about favorite light to medium bodied red wines, and somebody left a comment. I thought it was funny. He was a Sears collector. He said, "My favorite light red wine? Chardonnay." When Chardonnay is barrel fermented, it can have so many layers of flavor. With inexpensive Chardonnays like we have here, a lot of people think they have it down to a buttery, more melony, banana type style. That's actually the style it's made. Chardonnay is actually a very neutral variety. That's why it flourishes all around the world. It's almost like a blank canvas. Winemakers are free to do what they want as long as they get good quality grapes for their objectives. Chardonnay is very food friendly, can be drank by itself. It can be paired with all types of foods, even meats, fish, white chicken, pork type dishes. Here today, this is the price point where a lot of people are looking to find value, especially as costs are rising. The average price per bottle sold on a shelf in the USA is about $12. That's a lot less in places like Germany, the Netherlands. But we're going to try and find value here. All these wines here are under $20 in the US on the shelf. I did other videos like this about Pinot Noir under $25, Cabernet Sauvignon under $25. Those are tough price points to meet, but I think we'll be able to nail it here on Chardonnay. Let's get started. I'm ready to taste some wines, tasting out of what's quickly becoming my favorite glass. This is the Riedel Performance Pinot Noir glass. I found it to do really well with white wines, especially barrel fermented white wines like we have a few here. This is quickly becoming my favorite glass. I love how it has like these optical striations. Riedel claims not only does it look cool, but increases surface area to make the wine taste better. I can't argue because this glass is phenomenal. I'll put a link in the description below. It's not cheap, but it's a heck of a glass. Some of these are in screw caps, so I unscrewed them, poured them, or a decor in them, and I had somebody mix them up for me. #1, this comes out swinging like a typical, what typical casual drinkers think of Chardonnay, buttery, banana-y, like a little bit of melon. It smells explosive up front. It doesn't have tons of depth in terms of complexities, but smells good. Buttery rich, got decent staying power. There's even a little pineapple component. Everything's not integrated perfectly, but I think this is solid. The thing that's nice about this wine is people that want these type of wines in this type of price point, it's not too tart, doesn't have too much acidity, it's not too sharp, it's quite round, it's quite soft on the mouthfeel, it's quite smooth, buttery, not oaky at all. A little bit on the back end. I want a little bit more length. I mean, I don't think it's great Chardonnay by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's solid. And yeah, I would be fine people drinking it. That's nice. Move on to #2. 2 smells much more serious, more minerally. I have a couple here, I think, that are only in stainless steel. That's what this smells like. It's steely. Got like this gunflint type aroma, more of a lemon spectrum. It's so funny, Chardonnay is actually a quite neutral grape variety, depending on whether climates it's grown. If winemaker decides to use oak trim at lees contact, it can be a very different wine. This is not Chablis, but more in the Chablis, like steely type style. Chablis is a region, northern Burgundy. Those wines are known for having racy acidity. They're not as big as fat as more traditional Burgundies or more Chardonnays, which you might be familiar with. Steely mineral, high acid, long. This is for the different type of wine drinker. People want a little more tartness, more acidity. I can see this being an exceptional spring, summer type wine outside. It's sharp, but not too sharp. In that style, I think it's very good. 3 is the oaks coming out hard here. You got, I mean, and people on this price point like oak. It's so funny. I don't love oak and red wines, but I do like oak and white wines, and you have to stay tuned. I have an upcoming barrel fermented white wines from around the world video that I'm pretty pumped about. So you're definitely gonna pick up a lot of wood here. Sweet peach type flavors, a little bit of white pepper. On the back end, It's just oaky. The oak takes over the fruit. Not really enjoying this a ton. I think that a lot of people will like it. It's just not hitting my palate personally that well. Let's move on to number 4. It's not oaky, but the fruit is kind of muted. Not really coming through that strong. You get a little bit of muted yellow peaches. I guess when you get high quality wines, it's almost like if you have a fruit that is not fresh. Let's say something like an orange, maybe that's old, you get at a supermarket versus one that you pick right off the tree. You slice it in half. You smell the difference in intensity. This is more the muted one. That to me is not a very exciting wine. Quite disappointing, actually. Man, I'm in a pretty critical mood. I think mostly because I just did a white Burgundy video you're going to see soon where I tasted the difference between a generic Burgundy level, a village level, a Premier Cru, and a Grand Cru to see if I could blind taste the difference. You're going to see that video soon. I'm pumped about releasing it. Let's move on to 5. Ooh, 5 is pretty nice. Not super explosive. A little bit of a lemon. You get a touch of wood. You get white peaches. It's not so explosive. It's quite neutral, but it's not bad. This is one of those white wines. Sometimes when you give people that prefer to drink red wines, give them white, they say, it tastes like a white wine. This is what it kind of tastes like. It's lemony, it's citrusy. It's not a horrible wine. Not a ton that's exciting about this wine. It's just okay. My expectations were actually quite high for this video, but things aren't just working out. Let's start out with wine number 4. I gave it 80 points. It's muted. It's just a little bit meh. Not very exciting. Oh, and I'm disappointed. This is the Barra Mendocino Reserve Chardonnay. This comes in at $19 from Mendocino, California. Usually, this producer is very good. Their Cabernet, which is like under $25, Pinot Noir under $25 is very good. Chardonnay could use some work. Sorry, it's just not very good. That's one I don't recommend out of these. Let's move on to 2 tied at 85 points. One's woody, oaky. One I said just tastes like a standard white wine. Let's start out with the oaky flavors because I think a lot of people will like this style. It's woody, it's got oak flavors, but besides that, just kind of tastes like an inexpensive Chardonnay. 85 points. Let's take a look. This is a wine that I've tasted in the past and I thought was excellent. This is the Enate Chardonnay Fermentado in Barrica. Somontano in Spain. This comes in at $19. I'm really shocked because Somontano is an appellation, really high quality, high value for money Chardonnays. This wine scored very high with other critics in the past. I think I have enjoyed it, but it's just woody, oaky. To me, it wasn't the most exciting in the world. Let me retaste that. Maybe I was a tad harsh, but still, it's not the most overly exciting wine in the world. I'm really shocked by that. A lot, actually. Let's move on to number 5. It's a wine that I said just tastes kind of like just like a white wine. You know, it just tastes like a white wine. Nothing super exciting about this. This is, I also gave it 85 points. This is the Le Grand Noir Chardonnay 2021. This is 85% Chardonnay and 15% Viognier. This comes in at $13. $13. Okay, top 2 different styles here. One, barrel fermented, so I got this butteriness, richness, just a touch of oakiness, but it wasn't too obnoxious, and then the one that was a little steely. Let's go with the buttery, rich one that had a hint of oak first. I gave it 89 points. And I think I know what this is now as we're getting closer to the reveal. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this, and a lot of people do enjoy this. This is the Kendall Jackson Vintners Reserve Chardonnay from California, 2022. This is widely available, comes in at $17. I'm surprised they can do this type of quality with the volume that they're doing. It is barrel fermented. It's good. It's good wine. A lot of people like to poo-poo on Kendall Jackson, but I think that wine is good. It showed well blind. So now I think the Kendall Jackson is what's going to be the top wine for most palates. Most people, they're buying wine in this price point. Now for me personally, this is the best wine. More steely, sharper. I think it's exceptional. It's just good Chardonnay. And in that style, very good. High acid, long, 90 points. 90 points, stainless steel, white wine. This is the Chehalem Unoaked Chardonnay from Columbia Valley. So it's fruit from Washington State. Unoaked Chardonnay, $19. Chehalem is from the Willamette Valley. Willamette, yes, I know. I like to say mispronounce Willamette to get people mad. This is very good. I think unoaked Chardonnays can be outstanding, and at 19 bucks, I think that's a heck of a wine. Gotta like tartness though. So tell me, do you like Chardonnay? Are you on the team AAC just like me? Let me know. Drop it in the comments below.